coached probably now about 100 people who are at C-level within organisations. So again, I've got really rich experience on the challenges that people at that level experience. I think where it differs, when people are on the C-suite, I think actually it's often quite hard for them to get genuine feedback from people who report into them. It can be very lonely at the top. So actually as a coach, I can provide that objective perspective. I think also probably provide greater degrees of challenge and greater degrees of scrutiny. And I think actually at that C-suite level, that is really required. The step up to C-suite requires a whole new range of skills for people. One of those skills is being able to operate at a much more strategic level and actually joining up different challenges across the business. People sometimes can be very siloed when they go into the C-suite, or before they go into the C-suite, they can look at stuff from a single function perspective. So actually training people to think much more systemically about the challenges facing the business. And that systemic thinking, I think, is a key attribute to people at that C-suite level. They don't need to be just able to run their own department, they need to be able to contribute at an enterprise level across the organisation. So many people I've coached have been recently promoted to the C-suite. There we look at a range of techniques which can help them. With this individual I'm thinking of currently, first of all it was looking down, because actually you still are a team leader. Actually it was getting his own house in order, his own team in order, and that was the first area of it. I think the rest of it was probably more in a conventional area that you would think for a C-suite leader. So it was around the stakeholder relationships he had, his relationship with the CEO. Also, this individual, it was an incredibly challenging time for the organisation. It was probably the organisation, or one of the organisations over the last few years, which has been in the public eye and under scrutiny. And actually it was about giving him and equipping him with the resilience in front of the media to cope with that when sort of day after day there were very, very difficult situations to be dealt with. There was someone who's recently been promoted to CEO level within a FTSE 100 organisation. Again, he credits the coaching as one of the vehicles which enabled him to make that transition. And for him there, we worked on a range of areas. We worked on his relationship with the chairperson in the organisation. We worked on key stakeholder relationships, but also on emotional regulation, how actually he could regulate his emotions to be more effective within that space. I think also step into being a transformational leader rather than what he called an activist leader. So a lovely example of someone I'm working with currently, his background was very operational. He'd been very successful at an operational level. That had worked well. His new role requires him to be more strategic. So actually, how does he transform being an excellent operator to a real strategically minded leader? And that's been a core area that we focused on. We've looked at many different perspectives on that. At a very simple level, how does he spend his time, all the way up to quite sophisticated or very sophisticated tools for looking at being more strategic. I'm currently coaching another individual at C-suite level, a CEO. For her, some of the challenges are, again, around emotional regulation. So actually we have to manage ourselves, even if we're at C-suite level. Beyond that, there are then some incredibly conflictual dynamics within that organisation, both within the company, but also then at a non-exec level and at a chair level. And actually, how does she navigate those very complex politics and those very difficult conflicts within that organisation? That's an area she's really looked for support on.